Today, a 37-year-old woman from Jamaica with no children says she's ready for a high-value man. Kevin Samuels gives her a reality check.
What high value men are looking for in women. And I'm also curious to share what I think they might be looking for. So it's a
Well,
double-edged
are you
sword.
looking for a high value man for yourself?
Sure, most definitely.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. So I have to ask. So let's start out with some preliminaries. Let's keep on. How tall are you?
I'm about 5'6".
5'6". Are you from the islands?
I am
Okay.
Jamaica.
All right. And how old are you? It's relevant.
I'm 37.
37. And how much were you when last time you? What size dress do you wear? Wear? I put it that way.
I've always been a slim build, so I think I'm about a 4.
Okay. And are you actively dating right now?
I have people that are interested in me that I do
Okay.
communicate with and from time to time go out with.
All right.
But
Are you do you want to actively date right now?
yes, I do. I think because of the pandemic and what is happening,
Okay, if there
well,
was no
not just in
pandemic, if there was
Ireland,
no
but
pandemic,
globally.
if there's no
Huh?
pandemic, if there was no pandemic, if there were no pandemic,
If
would
there
you
was
want?
no pandemic, I would be going out, meeting people, and I'm sure I would have more options than I do now.
Right.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, 37. Do you have any kids?
I
Do you have any children?
don't.
You don't.
No.
Okay. So, and I forgot to ask, are you in the States? I'm assuming.
No, I'm not in the States.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in Jamaica.
Oh, well, that's going to be different. Okay. Well, then high value men are different in Jamaica. That's a completely different culture. Um,
You do have high value. Well,
huh?
could you define a high value man? Do you
Well, high
define a
value,
high value man based off of what he earns or his
yes.
character?
Yeah, no, I don't care about his character right now. Nope. Nope. You could be a character.
Okay, okay.
No, no. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, you could be driving Uber and have great character. But if you can't afford to pay for a wife and kids, difference does it make? See, I don't convolute the two. I know that women in general, black women in particular, want to be able to not have to work. They just don't like saying it. And
Um,
if that's different for you, that's fine. I said black women. I didn't say
I
you.
don't necessarily current. I'm very sorry to cut you if I am. So I'm sorry. Currently, I am self-employed. I have a salon at my home. I go strictly by appointments
Uh
and
huh.
I do Airbnb.
Uh huh.
I love what I do because I'm able to dictate my time.
And if you found a
In
man,
all honest,
hold on. And if you actually found a man making $600,000 a year, you'd still do that job if he wanted to marry you.
I'd
No.
probably do it to a lesser extent. Um, I, I, how do I explain? I
I
don't
know.
want
Let
to
me explain. Okay.
overwhelm. I
Let me.
don't want
Hold
to
on. Hold on. Can you hear me?
overwhelm.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sure, sure.
Am I on speakerphone? Because there may be a little
No,
delay.
you're. Oh, yes, you are. Would you like me to take you off?
If you have a headset, that would be better because then there wouldn't be a delay. Or
All
if you
right,
could
let
just
me
take me off
find it.
speaker, that would be better.
I'm going to try to locate my headset. I
Okay.
was not equipped for all of that.
That's okay.
Um,
While you look for that, I got somebody else that's going to come on. And if you don't find it, just let me know and we'll try to work it out. You're still
okay,
online
no
though.
problem.
You're still here though.
No problem.
Sugar P, what's going on? Sugar P's in there. See, here's the thing. Sugar P is her mic. One thing I get right down to is, ladies, you know whether or not you want to deal with, whether or not you want to be completely submitted and dependent on a man or not. And high value men, it's from a resource standpoint. And that's the problem a lot of women have with this high value man argument. He's not going to play these games with you. This 50-50, I am independent, da 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 da, because he didn't have to. What's going on, Sugar? Tamika, did you find your headset? Tamika. Sugar P, what's going on?
Hey Kevin, how are you?
I am well, sis. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, Jamaica. Cool Runnings down there is tripping out. So how's Houston treating you?
Houston's treating me well, but I miss DC. I don't feel like going back. But I guess I'm getting used to Houston.
Okay, you've only been there for a few months though, right?
I know, since November, only a few months. So right, like when things started going a little out of control.
So are you like actively involved down there? Because it's so spread out.
It is very spread out. It's very different than DC. So when things probably get going, I plan to join a Rotary Club in the Chamber of Commerce. And I actually started dating last week, going back on dating. So
are you out? Are you just doing this traditional way, or are you online?
I do online. I prefer to meet people in person out and about, but right now online.
Right.
And I actually, I think it's important for women to actually date if you're looking for marriage and have dates. I mean, I have like maybe some people in the chat might get mad at me. I had like 3 dates this week.
Why?
So
I don't. Why would I be mad? You should.
Well, not you, but some other people.
Why? So you should. You should look, man. Look, if you don't have a roster, you ain't trying.
Very true.
I don't mean I see, and that's the thing. I don't play that bull. I don't try to make women fit something that makes no sense. Tamika, you here?
I'm here, Kevin.
Hold on, Sugar P. Let me put you on hold. All right, you got me? I'm gonna mute you, Sugar P. Let's get into this, Tamika. All right, so you're 37, and you were saying that you have a job and you have your own business, and I'd asked you if you had met a guy who's making over $500,000, would you still want to work? And you were saying that you would, just to a lesser degree.
To a lesser degree. I do enjoy what I'm doing. I do not overwhelm myself with clients. The clients that I do have, we connect. So they're clients.
Well, let me ask you a couple of defining questions.
Sure.
Why do you want to be married?
I do.
Okay. Why?
Well, I do hope that in time I'll find someone that I'm compatible with, and hopefully we can have a family. If not, if he has children, then I'll try to assimilate myself in their life. I love men. I love the mind of a man, and I like to feel protected and provided for. I just do enjoy what I do, so I wouldn't do it to an extent where it would compromise the time and attention that I would need to spend on him or family. But in terms of like having a hobby, I think what I do know.
Okay, so let me ask you a follow-up question. Okay, so high value men or high earning men?
Yes.
That's what defines a high value man. These men work 12, 16-hour days to earn that kind of money. Why do you want a high value man?
Um, I would like to feel a sense of security. In my life, I don't think that I'm the kind of woman who is trying
You
to
mean financial
get
security?
financial security, and also to have a masculine, competent man in my life. Those things are important to me, and uh, yeah, why would I want to be with someone who is not reaching their highest potential? That's not the most
Well,
appealing man to me.
well, well, we're talking about high value men. High value men, um, you ask, so they guys who work that kind of hours, 12, 16 hours, they're gone all day. Who's going to be taking care of the children if you're at work?
My all of what I do right now is at home.
Right.
Um,
But
I'm
anytime,
willing. I'm
but
willing to.
listen. Anytime at home, you're working, you're taking away from the family.
True.
Okay. So he's working and the ends are meeting like a mug with him, but yet you're still working and as such taking away from the family. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, but you're the one that's supposed to be taking care of the family.
I think I would be willing to dedicate my time, my life, my energy towards my family, because I do believe family is very important. Um, I guess because I do enjoy what I am doing,
Okay,
I
let's just cut to
was
the chase. Do you
hoping.
want to depend on a man?
Do I want to depend?
Yes, depend. Yeah, depend.
I would love to. I have never had that experience.
Right. So
I would
depending
love,
on the
I
man, that
would
means
love
you don't
to.
quit. That means you don't make any money.
Yeah, I've never had that experience in life. It's
Right.
slightly scary to me.
And every question I've asked you, you in a nice way tried to still hold on to that. You don't want to depend on a man. Because I've given you several
I want to, but
no,
I want to, but I will have to
Listen,
feel
listen.
safe.
Okay, you're not going to overtalk me. That is not going to work here. Are we on the same page?
I'm listening.
No, are we on the same page? Because I do not play that with any woman that gets on my channel. Don't do that. You want to be able to depend on a man, but you've never been able to do it. Is that accurate?
I have not been able thus far. Yes.
Okay. Granted. But however, understand that high value man, a man who already is in that position, he is not going to have to wait for you to get caught up to him. If he's already making enough money, he doesn't need your income. What he needs is a wife and a mother and a companion and someone to be at home, not someone who's working to where she does not have to feel like she's 100% committed or depending upon a man because it makes her feel scared. Does that make sense?
It it makes sense, yes.
Okay, so have you ever gone to talk to anybody professionally about the issues you have with men or depending upon men? If you're talking about you want a high value man.
No, I've can I answer you and
Yeah,
then
you
put my
can.
input
Go
can
ahead.
put my input along with the answer. So no, I've never had a discussion with a professional about completely and totally depending on a man to provide for me. I would like to add to that answer. I am not sure if I have ever seen that. I do believe it is possible. Um, I don't know if
You've
it's
never seen it,
where
or
I
you've never
live.
seen it with a black man.
No,
Hmm?
I have clients and they have husbands who are doing well
Hmm.
and they still are doing something. The
What I
husband is the
asked is, man, okay,
major breadwinner.
you're in
Hmm?
Jamaica. I get it,
Yes,
but you have. Are you saying you've never seen women who don't depend on me? Who?
totally.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. So now I'm going to have to ask something that's going to sound crazy. You have TV and the internet.
Yes.
Then you've seen women who depend on men totally.
I have.
Okay. So I asked you that question, and you just basically said, "Uh-uh." What it is I asked you, have you ever not seen it, or have you not seen it from a black man? And then do is that the question? Have you not seen it from a black man, or you just haven't seen it? Period.
So I see it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that example or that family construct on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot recall seeing that in real life around me. I do know of husbands and wives who the man provides a certain level of security. The he provides most of everything.
Mm-hmm.
The woman still does something in some sort of way.
That's why I
She
said
is
you're
not
in Jamaica. That's why I said.
totally dependent.
That's why I said in Jamaica it may be a little bit different,
Yeah.
but we're talking about high value men, and here in the States, I mean going down that path. Um, what makes you what's the fear in depending upon a man?
Thank you for that question because that's what I wanted to expound upon. I think how nature has it, the man is to provide and protect. The woman nurtures and takes care of the home, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. However, I believe that some men, the fact that they are providing financially, they undermine the value of what the woman provides in the relationship and for the family. And as a result of that, they tend to, it shows in their
Undermine
attitude
how?
in terms of undermine. Like they just don't, the fact that she's not earning money, they do not value her contribution to the home. So they look at her, and I don't think men and women are equal, but I do not think a man is superior or inferior. I think we have different roles, and
No, we're superior.
I
No, we're superior. Make no mistake, we are. You cannot survive in this world as a single
I
female. No, ma'am. No female is built to
but I
survive in
don't
this.
think a man can survive
Okay, I
without a
need you. Hold
female
on. Oh,
either.
yes, we can. Yes, we can. I challenge you.
No,
Oh, listen.
you
Okay,
want
I'm going to. I
you
need you to
want
listen.
a
I need you.
woman's
No, no,
femininity,
no, no. You're not.
her caressing
I've
her
already
body,
told
her
you you're not
breast.
going to do that shit. No, no. You are not my equal. Anything you want, anything you have, if I want it, I can take it from you. You can't stop me. Women cannot survive on their own. Your hand strength, you can't even operate tools to build a shelter. You are physically weaker than the man. And if you're going to sit here and try to argue this point, you're not going to find a high value man or a man, period. I mean, this is not even up for debate. I mean, we're arguing, you go from the Garden of Eden, and you just contradicted yourself. God put Adam in charge of Eve. I'll let you unmute yourself, but you're not going to talk over me. So again, this is where a lot of women end up today. You want a high value man, but you cannot have it all. So whether she unmutes herself or not, you can't have it all. You can't. And at 37, you certainly can't have it all. You cannot have it all. Now, you mentioned God and creation. Yes?
Yes.
God put
I did
Adam in
not
charge of
mention
Eve.
the Bible. I didn't mention the Bible, so that's a key factor.
Well, we can
for
play
me.
we can play these games all we want to, but how about this? If you had something and I wanted it, could you stop me if you did not have a weapon?
Probably not.
Right. Where do women live by themselves in nature and survive?
Kevin, we
No,
both
I don't need you to.
need
I
each
know my name.
other.
I know my name. I asked you a
We both
simple. No,
need
ma'am.
each
No,
other.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
we
I'm
do.
going to do. No.
We cannot continue creation
All
if we
right.
do
You're going
not
to do this
have each
bullshit
other.
again. I'm going to try one more time with you. You cannot answer the question because it was a logical fallacy. And instead of answering the question, you attempted to gaslight. This is what women of your age tend to do when you're losing. Men can live by themselves and survive just fine. You cannot. Ergo, we are superior to you. And any woman arguing and debating this, you're not fit for a man. I mean, you're really going to argue that we need each other. No, we don't need you. Go back to the Bible or creation. Adam was doing just fine in the garden without. Matter of fact, a lot of guys can make the case that we don't need you, period. That the introduction of you actually caused the downfall of this world if you really want to go there. And see, ultimately what I'm getting to, and I'm using this to show why high value men do not have these kind of women in their areas. Not going to argue this stupid stuff. They're not going to argue this stuff. They're going to be like, oh, okay. She come up there talking this feminist shit. They're going to like, okay, keep on moving. And they're going to say, Jerry, don't let her in again. And if Jerry is the manager, say, oh, well, she's a good customer of ours and she knows how much is her tab. Okay. Oh, I'll pay what she had for a year. She spent $200. Okay. And she comes in with $200-$300 a month. Great. Here's $5,000. I don't want to see her anymore. That's what high value men do. They don't tolerate these women. And she'll be trying to call in and get into her favorite restaurant or club and, hey Jerry, no, we got a party in, and so forth. Eventually they'll get the hint that they're not welcome. So I would say this to women. Ladies like this are your biggest. You don't want to be around women like this because they complicate things. She's sitting here really trying to debate whether or not men are the genders are equal. We're not equal. Not in the least. And here's the funny thing. Gentlemen, we have done such a good job in civilizing the world that women like her have forgotten how men don't even realize how good they have it. That's how good mankind has done it. And these are the same women that talk about, society's tilted towards men. Yeah, because we built it. You ain't built nothing. You don't invent anything. That's why I said initially, women who are the women these men want to marry and keep was the first thing I said. They like men. This woman does not like men. She likes men. She loves men for what men can do for her or make her feel, but she does not like men. You can listen to her voice. I've tried to be calm, cool with her, and and you're gonna come on my show to try to overtalk me to the point where I have to mute you twice. There is no mute button in the real world for women like this. You mute them by exiting them out of your presence. That's how you mute these women. And here's the reality. What does life look like for women like this? Because 37, they still feel like they're 27, which is still like 25. That whole black don't crack. They still look in the mirror and look and they feel young, but they are old. Their eggs are 2 years past due. Remember that woman? My eggs ain't old. These women in their late 30s, early 40s really still look at themselves like they Sugar P's age, but they're not. And they're having basically a psychotic break, realizing that I'm going to die alone because I'm unfit to couple with any man worth his salt. Which is why you're going to talk this whole thing about, well, what about a man's character? You know what that really was, guys? That's a sucker waste. She thought she was dealing with a sucker to come in and talk about a man's character. What she's really saying is a guy who has less or makes less, so I can get him into a 50-50 situation so I can keep my elbow on him. That's what women like this want. That's why they talk about their character stuff. And I'll take a man who has less than that, yeah, because they know men I'm talking about have standards. And they're not going to pull that stuff with them. You're going to sit back and tell me that I don't see any men in Jamaica. I don't see any women in Jamaica that are 100% dependent upon men. Really? No, ma'am. There's nothing else to talk about. That's Sugar P. So,
Hello.
Sugar P, what's going on?
Is it still on? Am I okay? I was making sure I muted the other video.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just listening.
So you're out and about. Yeah, you should have a roster. You're too young to be. You're new and you're too young to be trying to look. If you'd be crazy if you didn't.
Yeah, I decided this last week. I've been going on. Oh, we're getting it going.
Well, one thing I would say is you got to keep it platonic. You cannot get intimate.
Okay.
Because you can't. Okay. The problem is you don't want to start running up your numbers.
Yeah.
But if you're out here, first off, you're new to a city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep it dating, guys, you don't want to be taking advantage of people. And you also don't want to get yourself in a position where you start to let your emotions, especially your sexual responses, get ahead of the relationship. You're going from the seat of power in DC to an expansive city like H-Town. It is huge.
I miss DC so much. I'm trying to decide if I want to move back to Devon, but I don't know if I want to keep moving.
You're an East Coast girl. I don't know why. I mean, I support you being there, but you're an East Coast girl. Houston's not going to work for you, in my opinion.
See, I knew it. My friend.
Okay, you got a year. Okay, you did a year in Houston. You do a year in Houston. Enjoy it. Get some humidity.
Yeah.
Get your skin together. Leave.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But don't stay there. No. So, and here's the funny thing: you should have more fun in Houston, knowing you only got 6 to 8 months left.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Year
But damn sure get out of Houston. No, not you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, sugar. Peace
All
out.
right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm bounce. Tamika, I will let you back in if you can conduct yourself like a guest. But if you can't, this is over.
Hi, Kevin.
Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
Are you going to conduct yourself like a guest?
Sure. I'll follow your lead.
Well, and here's the funny thing. I don't know if you were being sarcastic or not, but I'll take it. If you're on a show with somebody and there's no dog in the fight, um, and you're having a hard time following the natural lead here, in your relationships, do you typically lead a guy?
I do not like to date men that I have to lead. I like men who are leaders naturally.
Okay. But when I said in your relationships, is that what you've had in your relationships?
I've had a mixture of experiences.
Okay. All right. The guys who lead, do you fight them for leadership?
No, not unless I don't fight. I don't like to fight. But if I confident in their direction, I may become quite observant.
What do you mean, confident in their direction?
For example, I used to date this guy. He had a business. We have a similar business.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing better in my business than he was in his. This I did not discuss with him.
Okay.
But when he asked for my input, I would give it to him. And he would do his thing, and I would be able to see.
When you first started
the
dating this
fact
guy,
that
when you first started seeing him, did you know your business was doing better than his?
no,
About how long had you guys been seeing each other before you found that out?
the relationship wasn't that long. It lasted almost a year. Maybe about 4 months in, I realized that he wasn't managing so well.
So my suggestion is a couple off the top. A year is a long time. A year is a very long time,
It is.
especially in the life of a woman. You wasted a year. You wasted a year.
Definitely.
You wait, and here's the thing. I'm going to put this at your feet, ma'am, because he had a business. If you're going to be with somebody one on one, you chose to be in that situation with a man who was less than you on a business standpoint. You could have, you shouldn't even got into 3 or 4 dates with that guy because, you know, obviously that's not going to work. See,
May I
your
say
problem that
something?
it sounds like your problem it sounds like with men, you talk about. Have you ever dated a man who was very secure financially and was doing far better than you?
Definitely.
Okay, and why didn't that one work?
On the two occasions, the first one, he was definitely wild. I
Wild?
couldn't manage that.
What do you mean wild?
He wanted to have multiple men.
Multiple women?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next one?
And the next one, I would say he was insecure, and it manifested itself as being controlling and jealous.
So when you're selecting and dating men, does your father, do your brothers help you vet these men?
My father is a bit tricky in terms of
That's a yes no question.
okay, though he doesn't help me to vet them.
All right.
No. I
So,
bring them to him at a particular point.
all right. Well, so when I hear, and I do this enough to where when I'll listen to a woman who's had a variety of experiences with men, the only common denominator in all of them is you. Something's wrong with this
Yes.
guy. Something wrong with that guy. Something's wrong with this guy. Something's wrong with that guy. That's why I asked you, have you ever gone and sat down with a professional?
I have.
Okay. And what did they say?
Well, it was a female, and her words of advice to me was that sometimes as a woman, you have to take things in hand and do them for yourself
So you went to a
because
freaking feminist.
I went to an institution that provides professional therapists for persons going through a variety of issues.
All
And
right.
they assigned this person to me. It wasn't my choice.
Okay. Well, so I have four more people. Let me just put it to you this way. You don't sound like a woman. You sound like you know that there's something amiss here. And everything I'm talking about is the therapist. It wasn't my choice. These guys, look, all this stuff is your choice. If you're
I
sitting there
chose
talking,
to go to the therapist. I didn't choose the therapist
oh,
that I got.
you no. If you're sitting here listening to a woman who's a professional telling you sometimes you just gotta be as a woman, you just gotta take things on your own. Okay, that could have been your last session with her. So when she said that,
That's why I stopped going.
okay, but then what's the next one?
The next session, if I
No, the next
sought help after
professional.
that.
The next professional.
Oh, no, I
There you
didn't.
go. There you go. That's my point.
I have
No,
been to that particular place twice.
I don't
On both
care about,
occasions, I got females.
I don't. Okay, listen, Tamika. The world works. You're finding a way, and you seem to have a very, you seem to have a very good way of finding everything that doesn't work. I get the therapist wasn't that good, so you fire her and you go find another one. Because let me tell you this, sis, at the end of the day, you know where this path leads? Your path leads to you being right. You're right. You're right at every turn. You're right. And it also leads to you dying alone.
I definitely don't believe that I'm right. That's why I listen to your channel, because you provide a very honest and blunt male perspective, and I'm quite open to listening, learning, and adapting.
Ma'am, wanting a high value man at 37 with no kids isn't impossible, but it's not easy either. The marketplace doesn't run on fairness. It runs on demand, and men at the top have options: younger, fit, cooperative women who understand what those men want. You can't negotiate attraction. Men who've built value are looking for women who add peace, not pressure. You can bring education, career, and confidence, but if it doesn't come wrapped in femininity, grace, and warmth, they'll pass every time. You've got to lead with what men value, not what you think they should. That's the reality. It's not cruelty, it's competition.